Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So last week I put out a video talking about the best weapon that you can put on your Xiangling. Xiangling is one of the best DPS characters you can have in this game, and she's completely free to get. So for you guys who aren't necessarily rolling, but you want a really strong DPS character, Xiangling is for you. So today we're going to be going over Xiangling, and we're going to be building a team around her to maximize the potential of her and that weapon. If you don't know what that weapon is, we will be talking about that a little bit here, but also go ahead and check out that video. I will put a link right up here so that you can go check that out. Make sure you go check out that if you don't know about that weapon before you watch this. But without further ado, let's jump right into Genshin Impact, and let's talk a little bit about our favorite chef in Genshin Impact, Xiangling. Now, the weapon that inspired this team and this build is, of course, the Crescent Pike. This pike is insane on her, especially when it comes to the fact that all her additional hits will trigger this 25% attack damage, and they all crit independently. So what this team is all going to be about is getting the most crits possible out of your Xiangling, as well as the most damage, because she is going to be your primary damage dealer, but we do want to prioritize that crit. So of course, we have the Crescent Pike. This is going to give you a physical damage bonus, which is, of course, going to increase the DPS of your Xiangling. Now, when it comes to your Xiangling's artifacts, you want to be prioritizing your crit damage. Now, this is more of a later game build once you get past prioritizing that attack percent. Now, my Xiangling is not at all optimized. As you can see, I only have the Gladiator's Finale set bonus. That's just kind of how my pieces line up currently, because I have this top hat which has crit rate on it, but I don't necessarily want the set bonus, and I also have this Bloodstained Goblet which has attack up, but I'm not getting a bonus from this or my Berserker piece. When you're building her, primarily you're gonna want that Gladiator's Finale set. Next best would be the Bloodstain set or the Berserker set. Berserker set will help you get that crit rate up if you're having a problem getting your crit rate up from your artifacts main stats or your sub stats. If you're looking for main stats, the hat is going to be the best piece to go for that as a main stat. In all other circumstances, it's going to be a substat. So now we can jump into building a team around Xiangling. Now that we know we want to be prioritizing her damage and her crit. So what I like to do is pick a main DPS. Next up, I'm going to pick a sub DPS or a secondary DPS. This is the unit that is going to provide the second most DPS, and it's also going to be mainly helping out our primary DPS. So who do we want to add? For me, I don't think it's really a question. It's going to be Faisal. Faisal is easily, I think, the best support unit for Xiangling. Getting out her Oz is insane with Xiangling, especially with how many times she hits in a normal attack combo. Oz is just going to be putting out so much damage, and when you're combining your Pyro and Electro to get Overload, you're doing a ton of damage. So these two just naturally pair well together, and Faisal can be a main DPS on her own. So between these two, damage is insane. Now, next up, I like to look for a healer, because of course you want to have a healer on your team or some kind of support unit. So we have 4 options currently. You can go with Jean, you can go with your Barbara, you can go with Noelle, or what my pick is going to be is Chi-Chi. So the reason we're going with Chi-Chi here is because Chi-Chi works very well with Faisal to support Xiangling. So between the Electro element and the Cryo element, you're going to be getting a Superconduct Electro reaction, which will in turn reduce your enemy's physical resistance by 50%, therefore meaning that Xiangling can do more damage. So you're seeing a little bit of the push and pull here. Also have the synergy between Chi-Chi and Xiangling. Now you have a Melt elemental reaction, and that reaction, because it does go around the circle, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link that up there as well. That can also scale off Xiangling's attack. It can scale off her crit, which is very nice, so you can get some big damage there. So now that we have our 3 main units, this is kind of where we have our flex spot. So these 3 are kind of the main pieces of our team. Now we have kind of a flex spot. So who can we pick up here? Well, if you wanted to go for really big damage and you wanted to have like another DPS unit, you could go with Mona. Mona is insane. Her burst just allows you to have some major damage. You know, I've been getting crits with my Xiangling around like 20k, and they're not even built properly. So if you wanted to have some really big damage, Mona is really good in terms of support there. She also works very well with both Faisal and Chi-Chi. You could also go with Bennett, who I don't currently have. Bennett is really beneficial because you're going to be getting that pyro elemental resistance, so your whole team's going to be getting an additional 25% attack. But when Bennett uses his burst, he will also be transferring some of his attack percentage to whoever your main unit is at the time, which just will increase your Xiangling's DPS. So Bennett is also a super good option, but for this build, who I want to go with, I'm going with Xiangling. Now, you could go really with any cryo unit, so if you wanted to go with Kaya, you could, but Xiangling is just way better at setting up cryo. His E will make it so that Xiangling deals cryo damage with every hit, so if you have Xiangling out and you have Fischl out, the DPS is just going to be insane. You're going to be getting your superconduct super consistently. Xiangling is just the best at setting up cryo. And honestly, his E gets up so fast that you're going to be able to keep it out very consistently. Also, now we have 2 cryo users. So our elemental resonance, we're getting an additional 15% crit against units that are frozen or affected by cryo, which is very nice because after we use Xiangling's E, like I said, Xiangling's main attack is going to be also dealing cryo damage. So it's going to be keeping that crit rate up very, very consistently. So this team just works super well together, and honestly, your DPS is going to be insane. You're going to be getting some massive crits if you can build up your crit on your Xiangling. So for the rest of this video, I am going to have a little bit of gameplay above me. It's just showing off Xiangling and this team. Honestly, your DPS is going to be very consistent with this team. This team can keep up its elements very, very consistently, which will allow your Xiangling to just do very consistent damage. And honestly, while her hits aren't super big, once you start getting those consistent crits, her damage will be very, very good. And she can get some real big hits. And the fact that this Crescent Pike, every hit, including the additional hits, can crit is why this build is so good. All the crits stacking up are just going to mass up to be a large amount of damage. And, you know, Fischl is kind of a busted DPS unit in herself. So her, along with these other 2, Qiqi and Xiangling, are also going to be, you know, very, very good when it comes to overall damage output. Qiqi's heals are insane, so you don't even have to worry about that. This team just works together very, very well. I've been really happy playing with this team, and honestly, my Xiangling isn't even built. A lot of these units are not built optimally, but Xiangling, I only just leveled up to level 50. He's not even close to, you know, the damage of Xiangling or Fischl. Qiqi is also kind of underbuilt, but, you know, overall, you know, you can kind of see here, like, the cryo flower is just going to go down in one rotation. Xiangling is absolutely going to demolish it. So overall, guys, this build is really fun to use, and really the only hero that you actually have to roll for is Qiqi. I know it's a 5-star unit, but Xiangling you get for free. Fischl was just on the Venti banner, or still is, depending on when this video comes out. The Venti banner is going to be rotating soon. You can get her there. Xiangling, you don't necessarily need Xiangling, he is the best, but you could also use Kaya, which is also a free-to-play unit. So if you're looking to mimic this build, you can do that there. Also, the best substitute for Qiqi, if you don't have one, would probably be Barbara, in my opinion. Then you can get some vaporized damage, and, you know, with the crits, it's going to be really massive. So that would be my opinion. If you are going to be not using Qiqi on this team build, you do lose that elemental resonance, but that's just the way it goes. So guys, that was my team build guide for Xiangling as a main DPS. Let me know down in the comments below who you guys would like to see a team build for in the future. It's really fun going through heroes and trying to figure out like who synergizes well and what weapons you can use and what artifact builds you can use to maximize these characters. So let me know down in the comment section below who you would like to see next for a team build as a main DPS, or any role actually. But guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Hope you guys did like the video. If you want to see some more content from me, head over to my Twitch page, twitch.tv/xjazz207. We do stream there 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Or if you want to support us right here on YouTube, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. But guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Hope you guys liked the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.